Hello and welcome to the latest Academy for Teaching Excellence podcast. I'm Richard Middleton Kaplan. I am not, in fact, sitting in the middle of the ocean as it appears. That's just a desktop saver, and I'm at the desk. So I'd like to talk with you about 4 upcoming events very quickly and then ask a question. As far as events, first, this past Friday, September 26th, we had one of the most dynamic guest speakers that I've ever heard at Harper College, Corinne Hoisington, speak on the topic of engage at every stage, hot topics and cool technologies. And she showed us a number of apps and web programs and tools that can be used to make class more engaging. The nice thing about the presentation was that at every stage of her presentation she connected these to learning outcomes, to fundamental pedagogical goals. So coming out of this session, the Academy is going to sponsor a collaborative learning integrative faculty discussion group. Faculty who want to continue to talk amongst themselves and explore further ways of using technology, ways of fostering collaborative learning. About 15 people who attended the session signed up, and if you are interested in that and pursuing that further, maybe using the collaborative learning tables that are there in the Academy, or exploring other kinds of tools, or just having a little exploratory discussion, we'd love to have you be part of that. Please let either me or Matt Ensenberger in CII or Lawrence Salati know, and we'll put you down. No obligation, as they say, but we'd like to find a way to cultivate that interest. It's on the model of the Flipped User classroom group that we launched last year after we had a couple of guest speakers talk about Flipped Classroom. And, oh, look at this popping up in the middle of the ocean. Let's get rid of that, shall we? Who, coming out of that session, then formed their own group and have been quite vibrant in discussing and supporting each other in ways of flipping the classroom. So that's that. Coming up on Tuesday from 12 to 1, and then again on Wednesday from 5:30 to 6:30 is the latest installment in our assessment series, Fawn Grandinetti leading a series of discussions on various aspects of assessment, and this week's topic is formative assessment. Again, that's Tuesday 12 to 1, Wednesday 5:30 to 6:30. Also on Wednesday, the newest installment of the Africa lecture series. Andrew Wilson, my colleague in the English department, is going to be giving a talk on African American poetry related to the slave trade, some of the most remarkable poems that you can imagine. And Andrew's talking about those on Wednesday, October 1st, 3:30 to 4:45 p.m. That'll be in A243. Also coming up this week on Friday is one of our One Book, One Harper curriculum infusion discussions. So the One Book, One Harper selection for this year's Tom Brokaw's Our Greatest Generation. And when that title was announced, there were a couple of faculty members who said that they would feel a little uncomfortable teaching that text because they weren't sure how Japanese American or German American students in their classes would react to that material. So in response to that concern, we've designed a series of 8 workshops this semester that are to talk about how to take selections from the text. You don't have to assign the whole book. It's a series of vignettes, how to take little selections and infuse them into curriculum and do it in a way that respects those students. So 4 of the workshops that we have are about teaching sections of the book to particular audiences, and then there are another 4 that are on less specifically student audience related topics. So the specific one, this Friday, October 3rd, 10 a.m., session on the Japanese American experience in World War II. And so there are sections from the book that can be used from that, but we also have a number of other selections, short articles, videos, things like that, that can be used for focusing on this. And What I think is very exciting is that with the help of Lydia Omori, we have the Chicago Japanese American Historical Society coming to present in this session. So a couple of representatives from that historical society will give us some presentations on pre-World War II Japan and on life in the internment camps. So I think that's going to be very valuable. Again, that's Friday 10 to 12. And that's for point 2 CEUs. And then the next session coming up in the One Book, One Harper series is going to be on Tuesday, October 7th, so just around the corner, and that's on music and popular culture of World War II. That's from 2:30 to 4:30 on Tuesday. Okay, so those are the 4 upcoming events, and now the question. You notice when you receive the weekly updates from Lauren Salati of upcoming events that there's always a link to Starlink education programs and sometimes to something called Magnum 20-Minute Mentor, but always to Starlink. Okay, so confession, sorry folks who put this together, but for years I saw that. I just paid no interest to that Starlink, never looked at it, thought it had no relevance to me, and I confess this, not just because we're approaching Yom Kippur and it's time for confessing, but also because, as I imagine a lot of other people do the same. It turns out that these Starlink programs actually cover a lot of interesting material about active classroom practice. There are about 150 of these Starlink topics, and we can watch them at any point. They're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They cover things like assessment and all kinds of classroom strategies. So what we would like to ask is whether this is something that we should continue to pay for as an institution. And perhaps the next time that Lauren's email comes around, you could just click on the Starlink. I'll include instructions in the email that accompanies this podcast. We have free access to all of these 150 training on demand topics, and perhaps take a look and let us know if you think they're interesting, or if you've predetermined or previously determined that they're not interesting, that we shouldn't have them. Let us know. But let us know one way or the other whether these are things that you think are worthwhile. We also have an institutional subscription to Magnum, which offers 2 different things. 20-minute mentor trainings, nice handy 20-minute packages about teaching. And there's also an online journal called The Teaching Professor. We have a subscription to that. All of that is available to you on demand and completely free. So take a look at those things if you have an interest and if you don't mind, and let us know whether you're finding them worthwhile. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much. I will see you next time. Hope your semester is rolling along smoothly. Take care. Bye-bye.